Another hot day on La Vuelta. Kind of getting used to these. 32 Celsius. Well, the afterglow of victory for Mads Pedersen. Finally getting there in the green jersey in a race where he finished second on 3 previous occasions. That felt good. Likewise, Evenpoel looking good with a margin of 2 minutes 41 over the field, led by Primož Roglic. Sun was shining, carnival atmosphere, colourful as ever. So, indeed, was the bike of Jay Vine. Finally, they added some polka dots to that. And mountains would be the characteristic of the day, albeit pushed right to the very end. Big tests in the offing as we run up to La Pandera. Well, with a flat start to the day, this was going to beg a breakaway. And there were so many incarnations of it, it took a long time to settle. Finally, we had 10 strong riders up the road, with the likes of Chapouzin from AG2R Citroën. We had Lutsenko again from Astana. Luis Leon Sanchez made the break, so did Bruno Amarai from Groupama. Conca, the Italian from Lotto Soudal. Brenner was there as well, but this man, Mads Pedersen in the green jersey, he was hunting intermediate sprint points and was in the service of Kenny Elissonde, who was also up front for the mountains. Garcia from Kern Pharma and Richard Carapaz rounding out the group. Luis Leon Sanchez, a huge danger, and when it came to the penultimate peak of the day, he was having some fun. Well, it was not a game that Richard Carapaz was prepared to let Sanchez play alone. He bridged over to him, and in so doing, detonated the break. Meanwhile, back on the mount, they hit the ramps of 15%. Carapaz looked fresh. Well, the demands that had been placed on the team of Jumbo-Visma by Primož Roglic were there to see. They setting much of the pace, and as the breakaway thought about stage victory, behind, gaps were to be had. And in the end, there were to be some big ones. Roglic finally went for it, out of the saddle. Remco Evenepoel unable to follow. Enric Mas, however, he got a smell for it as well. He came by, and Evenepoel looked to be struggling. A train of talent coming up alongside him and pushing on, including Juan Ayuso and, of course, Rodriguez from Ineos Grenadiers. This looked like a disaster in the offing for Evenepoel. Likewise for Ayuso when he needed a bike change, but he didn't panic, took it on board and rode on. So did Carapaz, pushing to the final peak. The gap, though, was tumbling, and Roglic was on his case. Roglic in company, Enric Mas with Miguel Angel Lopez bridging over. This was spectacular. Well, with a downhill sprinting run that would introduce us to the final ramps, it looked like the gap may close, but Carapaz kicked on, and even when it came down to 11 seconds, we still believed. So did Evenepoel, who was picking himself back up in the wake of this man who would head for a second stage win of this race. But Evenepoel had damage limitation on his mind. How bad could it be at the end? We counted them in. Carapaz came home. In his wake, Miguel Angel Lopez picked up 6 bonus seconds, 4 bonus seconds for Primož Roglic. 8 seconds down on the winner, and then the clock began to count. Almeida came in, great finish by him. Mas finishing with Rodriguez shortly afterwards. Behind them, Arensman. And then Evenepoel finally appeared with the red jersey. Still in the lead of this race, but by a narrowed margin. Coming home with Ayuso, Kelderman rounding out the top 10 on the day. Fabulous second win for Richard Carapaz. Great fortitude displayed in his wake, not only by Primož Roglic, who took advantage of some cracks in the armour of Evenepoel. This is how the day finished, but overall is the crucial calculation. Evenepoel will be thinking, they're coming for me. He knows that. And the Queen's stage, of course, stage 15, still to be taken. Evenepoel now leads, but by a reduced margin of 1 minute and 49 over Primož Roglic. Enric Mas 2 minutes and 43 adrift. This is going to be one heck of a battle by the time we head for Sierra Nevada. Evenepoel knows that. How will he cope? Let's see what he's dealing with. It's a very punishing run, and we will be seeing it from flag to line. What a day. Somebody will win, somebody will lose, but how big? This race remains wide open.